If you are creating any kind of media right now, if you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel, if you create blogs, if you write emails, have a newsletter, if you talk with people and you record it and then you share it with others, you're the media. That's a big takeaway right there. So I want to dive into what that means and why that can literally change everything in your brain when it comes to approaching not only your content, the stuff you create, but really your business and how you look at everything as a whole. Your sales software shouldn't be a bummer, and when you step inside your CRM, you should actually feel equipped to do your best work. It's kind of like being in the pilot seat, but having all the easy-to-use controls. Well, that's what HubSpot's doing with the new Sales Hub. It's all designed to have you win quarter over quarter, year over year, all the way from the intuitive prospecting workspace, using AI-powered tools. The point is to reduce your workflow, all the work on managing leads, the follow-ups, basically making closing deals a no big deal at all. So this is how you can wrangle your day-to-day tasks using a seamless platform that basically navigates all the contacts, calls, analytics, all in one spot. ChatSpot is also the AI-powered tool that helps you personalize a lot of things in your CRM. It's basically like little assistants working for you. You just got to prompt it, and basically it pulls up a contact, sums up different sales, or researches your competitors. It helps you automate a lot of things during the sales pipeline so your team or yourself can take your time back. And the whole point is to make this easier and more effective for you. So this is the time for you to close more deals and get you on track for your best Q1 yet. Learn more about HubSpot Sales Hub over at hubspot.com/sales. All right, so I've been podcasting now for, it's over 10 years, but this show has been 7 years and nearly 600 episodes, at least a couple million downloads. Podcasting, tracking, and analytics aren't great. I'm sure it's a lot more in terms of streaming and whatnot. And I just spent a bunch of time with my producer, Jacob, at a conference, and this was a podcasting conference called Podfest, around a couple thousand people. Also met with some other private masterminds, and I'm here to report the news. At this event, Podfest 2024, it was held in Orlando, Florida, by a good friend Chris Kremitzos. It was his 10th anniversary of holding this, so a couple thousand people come together once a year in person to talk everything podcasting and media. It's an epic opportunity to connect with so many friends and people you haven't met in this space they're approaching it podcasting differently. And that is beautiful. And the little niche, the thing that we were carving out and what we wanted to really accomplish there in person is to hold an epic mastermind for people who have a business, something that's already not sustainable, but something that's already going. Like, it's not like a startup. It's someone who has a business that's established, online, offline, hybrid, and are using podcasting, YouTube, and other media to enhance their brand, their sales, everything, grow their tribe, their audience. And it was a success. Trust me, I got a lot of grays popping up from planning this thing over the last 6 months or whatever it was. And I got to just give my big thanks to Chris for allowing us to hold it there at his conference in-house. We had a whole dedicated room all day long. It was seriously 8 hours of pure on masterminding with these 30 people who were savvy in business, crushing it, all the way from, it was like traditional industries to doctors to RV industry leaders. We had people my friend Kimmy Seltzer was there, who's been all over the media lately in the dating space. And we have all over the place, different streamers, YouTubers. And I think the biggest thing here, just to take away, the obvious thing is, if you're not going out there and connecting with people in person, forget the screens, drop your phone, don't drop it, but put it in your pocket, start talking with people, look them in the eyes and have a good time and connect in a way that is different than your norm. And getting out there to live events like this one, and also masterminds locally, travel, doesn't have to be all the time, but enough to make that connection, meet someone new, meet someone that you might have not met forever. For instance, Jacob, the guy that produces my podcast here, we've been working together for 4 or 5 years, and I've never met him in person. I met him, and he's epic. Thank you, Jacob. I know you're editing this now. I'm not just saying that. So it was a blast. I mean, that made it worth it alone, is to meet him, but let alone all these other people. When everybody comes to the same place at the same time with the same intention to collaborate and to lift everybody up, there's nothing better than that. That's how impact is made. That's why I love doing this podcast, but it's even better when, like, hey, you got all that momentum and you're doing it too. You're doing it too. And then we can collab and mastermind and mold that into something that's just epic. I mean, that's community, baby. So I'm a little riled up for community and connection, but like, I think a lot of us need that these days. So that's thing number one. I really love the fact that that mastermind group, and it just, everybody came together, and now we're extending that group and then putting us into a community online that has a bunch of training that I've developed, that Jacob's developing, and other people. And what's really cool is we're going to keep that party train going. So that's kind of like a little model that we're doing now, is instead of selling courses or getting people to pay for membership, it's like just put the right people in there as like a bunch of VIPs, clients, and people from the mastermind, and give them really cool resources. And now let's all collaborate and help each other out. Good things will come. I'm a big fan of co-creating and connecting, and then like shared vision, shared mission in terms of how we support each other and leverage media as media brands. There's no lose there. So a couple takeaways I want to share with you from that mastermind, but also as a whole is, obviously AI is a hot topic that, we shared insights and all of these different things that are working right now. And a big one with AI, there were a couple tools that the founders were actually there either presenting virtually or in person. Was the founder of Cast Magic, Ramon Barrios. He's actually coming on the podcast very, very soon, within a couple weeks. And so he's the founder of Cast Magic, which I highly recommend everyone go try out. And there is a special way to get access for free to try it out. Go to hustleandflowchart.com/castmagic, CASTMAGIC. So that will give you a trial to basically get started and try it out. What it is, Cast Magic. This tool, it saves our team at least 20 hours a week working on our stuff, working on some client stuff. Probably even more. I haven't honestly counted, but it's a rough number. Sounds pretty good. It looks pretty real legit. Cast Magic, basically you upload your audio, video, could be like your reels or whatever from Instagram. And what it's going to do now is to recreate or kind of restructure that content into all these different outputs that you can tell it to do. It could be social media posts, it could be emails, newsletters, it could be blog posts, or anything else, titles, descriptions, timestamps, like all the stuff that basically would take you or your team a ton of time and just effort to do. Now can be done literally like that, automated. You can custom prompt things so it generates like whatever you want based off of your core content. Epic tool. So go get that, Cast Magic, hustleandflowchart.com/castmagic. You'll get hooked up with a special deal that Ramon, the founder, literally gave us personally. The other tool is Delphi, DELPHI. Now, what that is, and I have a link for that to get started as well, is basically you can clone yourself. I talked about it. I had a whole episode about how I made an AI episode. You probably listened to it. I talked to myself. Well, I was using AI and Delphi's technology, where basically it will inject all of the content I've created. So the nearly 600 episodes of this podcast, along with blog posts, along with anything else. Now it puts it into a chat bot, this coaching style bot more than anything, either written or as a speech. And now you can converse. Anybody can talk with me and also learn from the guests from the podcast itself and have this kind of two-way conversation that's interactive. Now it's not talking at you. And, now I have the ability to guest, or actually, like, if I don't have a guest, I can just talk to myself whenever I want. I'm never lonely. It's awesome. So I recommend getting that. Go to hustleandflowchart.com/Delphi, DELPHI. So go get that. Those are the two tools that were just epic. Another tool I'm just going to lightly mention here, actually wasn't from Podfest, but go check out the Oasis. You'll see it. It's a great tool. I've been capturing my thoughts, and basically it outputs it in these refined formats. And again, it's like social media posts, blog posts. It could be solo podcast outlines. You can custom prompt things, whatever you want. It could be emails. So it's a great way to ramble into an app or right into your computer, and then it actually formulates your thoughts into a structured way of thinking. So you sound good. Unlike me now. No, I'm just kidding. So that's at theoasis.com. Hey, I just want to pause this episode really fast and shout out a podcast that's also on the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. This one's a podcast that's hosted by someone I've followed for years. His name is Donald Miller. He has the whole Story brand book and all the different stuff online. He hosts a podcast called Business Made Simple. The premise is to basically take the mystery out of growing your business. And he recently had on, one of the other guys I follow is Alex Hermosi. And right at the beginning of the year, they're talking about facing uncertainty in your business. And Alex and Donald, they talk about different ways, 4 different ways to basically shore up your business to ride the uncertain times that inherently are the ones we're living in 2024. So make sure to go check that out. Go listen to Business Made Simple, that episode with Alex Hermosi, but also the other ones, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, I want to tell you about an all-in-one marketing platform that's been a game changer for a bunch of businesses. It's called Kartra, and it's the all-in-one tool that you need to grow. So the point is, you don't need to pay for a whole bunch of different subscriptions because Kartra does it all. So what makes Kartra different is that you can automate everything. Everything from delivering your online courses, sending targeted emails, selling products, and even handling your customer support. So all in all, it's saving you time and a bunch of money. And right now, you can try it out for 30 days. Just head over to hustleandflowchart.com/Kartra and go get that free trial. Again, that is hustleandflowchart.com/KARTRA. So carrying on into that, the biggest takeaway, and I gotta thank my friend Lisa Beyer, who is a media genius. She was there at the mastermind as well. She's epic. She's awesome. She's always a great one to meet up with and collaborate with. I highly recommend you reach out if you ever get the chance. And also Kimmy Seltzer over, she does all the dating stuff. So KimmySeltzer.com, you can check out her stuff. I work with her as well. And she's been getting media all over the place. Now, what they both, but really it was Lisa that was saying, she's like, kept saying to me, but also to other people in this mastermind, it was like, you are the media. You're the media. It's not necessarily, you don't need to be on TV. You don't need to have all these credentials and stuff. It's like, literally, if you're publishing online as a podcaster, as a YouTuber, or on YouTube, you are the media. Like, that's who people are going to these days. That's where brands are going to get promotions. It's where the news, or these brands are publishing their news. They're giving the press releases to people with reach, people with a brand, people with seemingly credibility in that space. And like, let's be honest, we can all be leaders in our space. It's how we arrange the pieces. It's how we communicate our message. It's how we present ourselves on our website. On our, you can check out hustleandflowchart.com. Like, that's why I've invested in a beautiful looking website. It's by Studio One Designs. I'm actually having Greg, the founder, on to talk about exactly that pretty soon. So you'll hear about it more. But it's all about the impression and the way that you frame things. Because when you start to think about it, you're like, yeah, media, it's distribution. It's where the attention is, your day trading attention is what Gary Vaynerchuk has said. I don't know if he still says it, but the point is, like, you are capturing attention, so you now have the value. You can demand things. You can get sponsorships. You could start layering on different ways to monetize your media, which is the number one question in podcasting, but really that's obviously everything. It's like, how do I monetize that? What's a model for that? Oh, how can I do that? And then you start to think, like, there's a lot of people on YouTube, primarily YouTube, but podcasting. And I would recommend start making that shift to YouTube. That's also another trend that there's a big pop in podcasting starting to move video forward. That's what we're going to start doing here. And you could start layering monetization. You can be like, monetize on YouTube. You can monetize with a sponsor. You can monetize with affiliate marketing. You can monetize with your own offers, your own, whatever it is. That's like 4 layers right there. There's probably other ones. You can monetize with equity. I mean, these are all things that I do currently. And also I know of a lot of other folks doing it. And there's so much leverage when you think about how can I contain all of that into this thing that's my media. And in this case, it's my podcast, but that podcast now could be video forward. So then I can leverage the scale of YouTube and other platforms that have algorithms and discoverable features that allow my message to spread further and have deeper impact, but also, monetize more effectively and also potentially have an exit. Like that's the thing, as a media business, you can be a network. You can you can raise the value of your business in the future. So if you choose to sell your brand, well, you can do that. There's a lot of newsletters, for instance, email newsletters, just by them alone, have sold, other brands have as well. So thinking about, okay, so what is your media? Well, your media could be, like I said, the video, podcasting, your email, your newsletter, all of these things, your blog posts, your website, there's social. I mean, all of this has reach, and you have reach and impact. And then when you combine that into a nice little package, and then you display that clearly to people who want to collaborate with you, lights out. Like, I don't see anything more powerful than that or more leveraged. Even if you're a one-person show, you can make this happen and be the leader in your space. So as an example of this, there was one woman who was at the mastermind, and she is in not a sexy industry, but it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and she has a leading podcast in that industry. Now, what she did is that she goes to conferences and connects with people, networks, and probably promotes her stuff and all that. Well, she pitched them as the press or as the media, and they said yes. And she was expecting a no. This was, I think, the biggest or one of the biggest industry conferences for her space. And they said yes to her as being this part of the press, part of the media. They give her an all access pass, hooked her up. She now has access to not only the people, setting up this industry conference, but also the speakers, the sponsors, basically all access to getting all the connections she wants in that industry that will help her scale things. And obviously, you can not only just get awesome people for your podcast or whatever, but now you can start doing deals for your business, for your media, and your network, or even maybe create a network. I mean, there's so many things that can happen now that you have access. And I think that's the big thing is with the media brand. And when you frame yourself in this way, you're literally allowing access to happen. You're opening doors in ways that you will never believe is possible. You'll get people coming inbound rather than the push. It's a pull strategy rather than a push. It sometimes takes time, obviously, compounding efforts and showing up to create the media. But, you're probably doing it already. Might as well arrange it as such. So that might be a deeper episode because I'm kind of fired up on it. It's something I've been talking about a lot, and it's actually been shifting, kind of flipping the switch. Is like, oh, well, I'm already making all this content. What if I just package it up differently and then position it as a media brand or even a network? Maybe collaborate with some people and then combine efforts. And then boom, you have something way more valuable with more reach. And it's really fun. And the ideas keep spinning. So I'm going to stop there for this one. This is kind of a recap of the latest that I saw in terms of trends when it comes to podcasting or YouTube and then business, and how you can really accelerate things with just a few shifts. And obviously AI being a big topic, and community. You can't lose the human element. And then of course, if you're looking for a podcasting event, go to Podfest 2025. They might have some virtual events this year as well during the year, but definitely go get your ticket. I'm planning on be there again. And so that's about all I got. And, let me know what you think. And as we're wrapping up here, I urge you to go follow me and what we're doing at this show over on YouTube. It's just look up my name, Joe Fier, Fier. Subscribe, like, all the fun stuff. Leave a comment. I want to hear from you. It's very early days there, but there's a lot of momentum on YouTube, especially for podcasting, and we're going video forward. So go catch us on YouTube, go subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much.